What's going on, Jerry Worlds? So I didn't join Stephen Rose's tournament in week one, but I decided to join it right before week two is started. So tonight is the night I have to get my pick in before the game starts. So this is the Stephen Rose Tournament of Champions Pick'em League week two. Now, um, week one was crazy, unbelievable crazy. So now let's go with week two. So we got Thursday night game, the Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Los Angeles Chargers, and both teams looked really good. Justin Herbert is right up there. The Chargers during the offseason, who I have picked the Chargers to be in the AFC Championship. That's how good I think this LA Chargers team could be. Um, you got Boza on one side, Caleb Mack on the other. But I will say, after losing Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes, and a well coached Kansas City Chief team, and it's an Arrowhead. Andy Reid's is a Super Bowl winning coach. Everybody knows how good Andy Reid is. Um, this one's a tough one, but I am going to go with. Some people like to pick it safe and they like to go with the home team. Sometimes I will do that, other times I won't. I honestly think that the Chargers are going to go into Arrowhead tonight and they're going to go into Kansas City and they're going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. So give me the Los Angeles Chargers for the win tonight in Arrowhead. So then we have the Patriots versus the Steelers. The Patriots didn't look very well. This could be the Patriots declining. The Steelers looked really good against Cincinnati. Um, it's in Pittsburgh. This one I'm kind of because the Patriots were a playoff team last year. Um, they still got Belichick as the head coach, probably one of the greatest head coaches probably to ever play the game. One of the greatest. I am going to have to go. I'm going to pick it safe here, and I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers to win against the Patriots. So then we have the Carolina Panthers versus the New York Football Giants. Now the Giants are Saquon Barkley is healthy. You saw what he did to my boys, the Titans. He was healthy. He was the reason why the Giants were able to come back in the second half and get that upset against the Titans. Carolina did not look good against a Cleveland Brown team that especially does not have Deshaun Watson for the season. And then Baker Mayfield went over there to Carolina. I am actually, weird as this is going to sound, I still don't think Daniel Jones is a good quarterback, and I still don't think the New York Football Giants are as good as they appear to be. However, I think the New York Giants are going to win this game. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the New York Football Giants to beat the Carolina Panthers. So we have the Jets versus the Browns. Okay, we don't even have to go through this thing. Everybody knows how bad the Jets are. Okay, it's in Cleveland. Cleveland's got a really good stingy defense. They still got a good running game with Chubbs. Chubbs is one of the best running backs in the league. He's a bruiser. He's good at what he does. So I am going to go with the Cleveland Browns to beat the New York Jets in week two. Now we have the Indianapolis Colts versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think the Jaguars they're going to be better with Doug Peterson as their head coach because Doug Peterson is a Super Bowl winning coach, came from the Philadelphia Eagles. The Jacksonville Jagoffs, because I hate the Jags and I hate the Colts both. You know the reason why, and I hate the Texans and everything else. We all know the reason why for that. The Colts and the Texans tied last week, which was a weird name because no one in the AFC South has a win right now. So I think the Colts are a way better team than Jags. And the Colts got a really good defense and they have a really good running game. So I'm going to go with the Indianapolis Colts to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars in week two. The Dolphins and the Ravens. The Dolphins showed me something. The Dolphins are doing. They're building slowly into something, and I think the Dolphins are going to be special eventually because they're putting all the right pieces in where they need to go. Um, but the Baltimore Ravens are tough. Lamar Jackson's healthy. They're coached by a well good coach in John Harbaugh, and he's a Super Bowl winning coach. So I'm gonna, and it's the home team. So I'm gonna go with the Baltimore Ravens to beat the Miami Dolphins. But I think it'll be a close game, though. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New Orleans Saints. The Saints, and we did this on one of my panels. The Saints are a very scary team. I mean, you got Thomas, and now you got Jarvis Landry as receivers. Yes, they got Jameis Winston. They don't have Drew Brees anymore. But the New Orleans Saints have gotten Tom Brady's number. For some reason, Brady's had a hard time beating the Saints. And, you know, I actually think that this is going to be crazy for me to say. Normally, 9 times out of 10, you don't want to root against Tom Brady. But history has shown last year the Saints beat them twice. So I think lightning will strike twice, and the New Orleans Saints are going to upset the Tampa Bay Buccaneers week 2. The Commodores versus the Detroit Lions. The Lions, are going to be that team that's going to be competitive, but they're not going to really put up a lot of wins. They're going to be competitive, and you saw what they did with the Eagles. They did put up a fight. Even my boy Desert Eagle, shout out to you, my man, gave them he gave them their due. The Commodores looked really good. I think Carson Wentz actually looked like Carson Wentz last week. I mean, he didn't look like the Carson Wentz that struggled in Philly with that after that injury and didn't struggle with the Colts last year. I think the Washington Commodores are going to go in and they're actually going to get this win. So going ahead and go for the Washington Commodores against the Detroit Lions. Seattle versus the 49ers. Now, Denver is a better team than Seattle. Denver should have beaten Seattle with no problems whatsoever. Seattle was coached well by Pete Carroll. We all know Pete Carroll's a good coach. The 49ers, though, was it really a fluke with the Bears? Because the Bears had that. It was a rainy game. The 49ers are a playoff team from last year. We all know that. They went all the way into the NFC Championship. This 49er team is better than what they showed last week. And it's going to be in San Francisco and Levi's Stadium. I think San Francisco is going to get this win against Seattle. It's hard because it's a division game. Division games, they know each other very well. So I think this is going to be a close game. It's going to be a dogfight, but I think the San Francisco 49ers will get this win in week 2. The Falcons and the Rams. Now, the Falcons played the Saints pretty tough. They have Marcus Mariota, who I know very well, as quarterback. And their head coach is the former offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans, Arthur Smith. But I have to say that the Rams are the defending Super Bowl champions. And even though Buffalo went in there and embarrassed the Rams and pretty much kicked the Rams like they were nothing, it's still in Los Angeles, and I think the Rams will bounce back and they will get that win that they so need. So let me go ahead and go with the Los Angeles Rams to beat the Atlanta Falcons in week 2. The Cardinals versus the Raiders. Now, the Raiders, the AFC West is stacked. I mean, they're stacked. And the Cardinals are going to be without D-Hop for, about 6-7 games or whatever the case it is. I'm still not sold on Kyler Murray as a quarterback. I'm still not sold on him all the way because he's a short guy. His passes are short. I'm not really sold on him. Derek Carr has got a really good weapon in Devontae Adams. We all know how Devontae Adams was with Green Bay. It's in Las Vegas, so go ahead and let me go get those Las Vegas Raiders to win in week 2 over the Arizona Cardinals. Now, the Texans and Broncos. I hope Denver beats the holy hell out of them. We all know, and I'm not trying to be. I am being a little biased, but Denver is going to be in Mile High. It's the altitude there. Denver, it's really raucous in that crowd. Russell Wilson's not going to lose back to back. Everybody thinks maybe Russell Wilson's declining. I don't know. I don't think he's declining, but some people think he is. But I think Denver is going to bounce back and get this win. So let me go ahead and go with the Denver Broncos to beat the Houston Texans in week 2. Now, the next one is the Cincinnati Bengals versus those Dallas Cowboys. Now, I bounced back from this pick. Yes, the other day, if you would have asked me 2 days ago, I probably would have said Dallas. But they won't have Dak. They won't have Prescott. Dallas does have a really good stingy defense, and Cincinnati looked like it struggled against Pittsburgh, and Dallas has a better defense than Pittsburgh. However, Cincinnati Bengals has got a really high-powered offense. Their offensive line, the biggest key is their offensive line still. As long as you can hit Joe Burrow and get to Burrow, you can beat the Cincinnati Bengals. However, it's in Dallas. Dallas is going to play hard, but I hate to tell you, Cowboy fans, but Dallas is going 0-2. Cincinnati Bengals has got a statement to make, and this is a good statement to make against one of the most popular teams in the NFL. So I think Cincinnati is going to bounce back and beat the Dallas Cowboys in week 2. So let me go ahead and get those Bengals. Bears and Packers now, yes. Bears got that win. Bears looked pretty good against the 49ers. Green Bay did not look so good against Minnesota. Aaron Rodgers is now having a team that has a lot of young receivers. But this is in Arrowhead. And Aaron Rodgers tends to own the Chicago Bears. He makes the Bears his bitch. So they're in Lambeau Field. I think Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers are well coached by Matt LaFleur. I think they're going to bounce back. So I'm going to go ahead and and it's a division game. So, the Bears are going to come and play. The Bears are going to play. The Bears are going to come back and they're going to play. But I still think Green Bay is going to win. So go ahead and give me the Green Bay Packers to win in NFL week 2. The 2 Monday night games. Now, this is tough for me. Monday Night Football. My boys, my two-tone boys in blue. The Tennessee Titans are going into Buffalo. Buffalo is a hostile environment to play. Josh Allen is playing lights-out MVP-style football he was last year. Buffalo is being picked by a lot of people to go to the AFC Championship, and not just go to the AFC Championship. They're being picked to win the Super Bowl and to go to the Super Bowl. That's how good this Buffalo Bills team is. Now, the Tennessee Titans have beaten them the last 2 years. It was in Nashville. Last game was tough last year. They were nail-biter. It's going to be a dogfight. The Titans are going to come to play. Okay, this is not going to be like the Rams where Buffalo gets like 30-something points. It ain't going to be that. Tennessee is going to come to play. The question is does Derrick Henry find his legs again? He had a tough time getting his legs going against the Giants. He's still not there from that foot surgery that he had last season. If he can get his timing down, and if Ryan Tannehill can get more of his stars involved, like Robert Woods and Austin Hooper. Yeah, Hooper. If he can get them involved, Titans have a shot. The Titans usually play a lot better against playoff teams. They beat eight playoff teams last year with all the injuries that they had and without Derrick Henry. So I wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee goes to Buffalo and gets that upset win. because the Titans tend to play physical, and if you play Buffalo physical, Buffalo, it's kind of like a boxing heavyweight fight. You got to hit Buffalo hard and early. Um, but I just don't know. I've been teetering on this. I wanted to go for the upset, but I don't want to be biased because the Titans are my team. I'm going to be realistic here. Buffalo's a very hard place to win. So I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills, and I hope that I eat my words on that. But this is a week 2 pick 'em, so it's not me doing a hate week or a video or whatever. So go ahead and give me the Buffalo Bills. So now the Minnesota Vikings versus the Philadelphia Eagles. The Vikings looked really good against a Green Bay Packer team. Their defense looked really good against Green Bay. The Eagles are still young. What hurts, A.J. Brown did come to play for them. I know A.J. Brown very well. The Eagles' defense, however, they just lost a big one, and Burnett's out for the season with a torn ACL. I know it's in Philly, and Philly's a hostile place. I've been to Philly with my wife a couple times. I know how the Eagles fans feel. I know how they are. But I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings on this one. I think they're going to go into Philly and get that upset victory because what I saw from Minnesota was if they can do that to a Green Bay Packer team, and Green Bay I feel like is better than Philly, I'm going to go ahead and go with the Minnesota Vikings. So that is my week 2 picks for the Stephen Rose Pick'em League Tournament of Champions. I'm Big Kev, signing out.